my point about all of this is that human life is a construct. We don't live as other creatures do in the world. We live in a world of ideas and values and feelings. And when we create our worlds together, we create a culture. And the culture starts to appear to us as common sense. And it can be the making or the breaking of individuals and organizations. I mentioned Instagram earlier. I was looking recently at Kodak, the company Kodak. Kodak invented home photography. And a few years ago, they went into bankruptcy proceedings. The biggest photography company in the world. And they went into bankruptcy not because people have stopped taking photographs. In fact, people are taking more photographs than ever, aren't they? Irritatingly, more photographs than ever. Like, here's a picture of my cappuccino. Fantastic. Here's the same cappuccino moments later when I have taken a sip from it. Important social document. The reason Kodak went out of business is they didn't believe in digital photography. They thought it was a passing fad. They believed in film because the company was founded and run by chemists. And they believed that film was the permanent form of photography and everything else was a fashion. And on that basis, they lost most of their market share. They've not gone out of business wholly, but they're greatly reduced. It proves this. This is what I want to show you quickly. Don't worry about this. We'll come back to that. Don't worry about that. I know you weren't worrying. People think of businesses as mechanisms. And I'm saying they're not. They're like living organisms. You see, if you look at the management chart of most organizations, it's a bit like this, isn't it? You know, it's like a technical drawing, and it shows the power structure, but it all suggests somehow that businesses are mechanistic, and you talk about your function. But the fact is they're not. Human organizations are like organisms. They live and they die. They can revive, they can be reborn, but only if we tap into the real creative energy of the people in the organization. And if we use those creative powers to anticipate and move towards a future that we think we can bring into being. I worked recently with a design company in the US, and on this basis, they redesigned their organizational chart. They got rid of the old one, which looked a bit like the one I've just shown you. This is their new management chart, which they give to new people they hire. They're saying that the roots of the organization are in the client's satisfaction, meeting the client's needs. That's what gives rise to the financial health of the company. If we don't have clients, if we don't understand their needs, if we don't empathize with them, if we don't imagine what they might be like, then the company starts to wither. Then all of that leads to the growth of the company through operations and revenue. And it's all to do with how these things cross-pollinate and how they connect and how easily ideas flow between these two great wings of the organization. And they said then, you need the president. And interesting, they said part of the job of the president is to protect the company from the overheated expectations of the board, who can often cause the company to shrivel in the heat of their hopes. I don't know what the rabbit's for. And then they color it in. This is now in their management book, and they give all new hires this and ask them to color it in for themselves. But this, to me, captures much more clearly the organic character of organizations. Human talent is buried beneath the surface. We have to create conditions where it will show itself. And those conditions need to respect the principles of creativity, diversity, and organic growth. That's what makes human life grow.